Brooklyn is the worst stat in the league. Plus, why Josh Allen will have his toughest test against the Ravens defense, and which Chiefs star is more important to the offense, Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill. And Stephen A. on how Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers still have something to prove.
Mike Miller always said I'm a cookie monster, and I'm going to steal that from him, so I'm a cookie monster.
No. This one's masked up, so it's protocoled.
It was 6 feet from the other one.
All right, breaking news into SportsCenter. Kyrie Irving is eligible to play when the Nets face the Magic on Saturday after being fined $50,000 for violating the NBA's health and safety protocols. He was apparently ordered to take part in a 5-day quarantine earlier this week. Sources telling Adrian Wojnarowski that he's allowed to return to the team activities on Saturday if he continues to test negative for COVID. Malika Andrews joining us now. And Malika, what more can you tell us about this situation with Kyrie Irving?
Well, Nabil, remember what the league was investigating here is whether or not he broke health and safety protocols by going to what appeared to be a family birthday party earlier this week. I know it feels like it was a lot longer ago than earlier this week, given all the news that has come out. So that's what the league was investigating. But remember, he is only actually losing. He has missed 5 games due to personal reasons, but he is only losing his salary for 2 of those games because the personal reasons are secondary. That is unrelated to the totality of that hiatus is unrelated to the league's investigation. They were just looking at the behavior that's in those videos that they deemed violated their rule that says that players cannot go to clubs, cannot go to lounges, cannot go to bars, and cannot be at gatherings of 15 or more people. So potentially we could be seeing the Nets' big 3 for the first time on Saturday of Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden against the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, and I think everyone in that organization wants to see that get past all this stuff. A busy day in Brooklyn. Malika will be back later in these shows. James Harden speaks at 1 Eastern today. Thank you, Malika.
Nabil, it is official. Urban Meyer moving from the broadcast booth to back onto the sidelines, agreeing to become the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars after a 2-year absence from football. Myers won 3 college national championships with a staggering winning percentage of more than 85%. The Jags have done lots of losing. They have the top pick in the draft. Myers speaking to the media moments ago. It is new on SportsCenter.
Well, if you're asking me if I'm going to enjoy losing, I think we all know the answer to that. I'm older. I've something I'm going to be very conscientious of. It's something I'm going to watch very closely. I will be in the head coach, but I'm going to hire great coaches that are going to be expected to do their job. I'm not going to be running around like a nut on the practice field, and those days are gone. I'm certainly going to. I know what it's supposed to look like, and I want to be very demanding of everyone. But it's something I'm going to watch very closely. But it's something that, I had that surgery in 2014 that really helped things. But it's just something I watch very closely. I am not going to jump into a situation where I don't believe we can win. I won't do that. College football is different, Mike. You know that. I mean, it's the days of coaching the way you did back when I was at Bowling Green or when I was an assistant coach. I mean, the whole country's changed. Everything's changed. And so you have to adapt. And those who adapt have success. Those who don't fail. That's the part of the game that I love, is to be able to adapt to an NFL player. And however, between the white lines, I don't see a lot of difference. I've studied the NFL game now for really years, but really studied it for the first time in my life for the last 6 months. Oh, you see Trevor, you see Justin, you see Zach, you see, that this is going to be, as Shad said, this is a monumental moment for this franchise. And we've seen some franchises explode and we've seen others fail. And I've said this many times, throughout my career, is that when the NFL says it's a quarterback league, I would say, well, so is college and so is high school, so is Pop Warner. It's a quarterback sport. So whoever takes that snap we have got to be right on. And I think Shad said it best, that this is going to be the term that you're going to hear throughout our time at Jacksonville is a partnership.
So Urban Meyer back in Florida, a state that already has been the scene of much of his success. Then again, Meyer has shown the ability to win anywhere at the college level. He won over 85% of his games as a college coach, again, third best in FBS history behind Newt Rockne and Frank Leahy, hoping again for similar success in the pros. Let's bring in our NFL analyst, Marcus Spears. Marcus, what's your reaction to what we just heard from Urban Meyer?
Jay, it was wonderful. And the key point or the key word that I heard is adaptability. Urban Meyer understands that, and hiring coaches and being able to delegate and not be an overwatcher. Let those guys do their thing. So confidence in the staff that he's going to bring in. Talked about studying the game for the past 6 months. Urban Meyer's been around football his entire life, but for him to lock in on the NFL game. And then I also like that he mentioned potential first picks. Trevor Lawrence, obviously, Justin Fields, and Zach Wilson from BYU. So, look, he seems to understand the message. Partnership was the next word that I heard. That was something that you have to have in this day and age in the league. When we look at the successful franchises and organizations, it's not a one-man show. It's everybody putting their best part into the decision-making process. So it seems that Urban has a great understanding about how this league has changed. He talked about how the country has changed. And I think that goes a long way with understanding how players are and the mentality of players. That's the number one thing for a new head coach taking a job. How fast can you earn the respect of your football team? And not just based on what you did in the past, but what you do with these guys in the present moment. In the league, it's different. Guys have different agendas. Obviously, winning is the number one thing, but different agendas. Guys want contracts. They want to be put in positions to have success to further along their career. So I thought it was a really good opening for Urban Meyer and the things that he said. But adaptability was the one word, Jay, that pulled me in and drew me in, because that's exactly what he's going to have going into the NFL and also going into the Jacksonville Jaguars organization.
All right, Meyer taking over a Jaguars team that has the worst record in the NFL over the past 3 seasons, as well as scoring the fewest points over that span. Marcus, you hang tight. Nabil?
Jay, that wasn't the only coaching vacancy filled yesterday. The New York Jets hired Robert Saleh as their new head coach. He signed a 5-year deal, according to Adam Schefter. And like Urban Meyer and the Jags, the former defensive coordinator for the Niners, he's got a lot of work to do. The Jets are coming off one of their worst seasons in franchise history. So since Saleh took over as San Fran's defensive coordinator in 2017, the 49ers ranked in the top 10 in yards per play allowed, passing yards per game allowed, yards per attempt allowed, and explosive plays allowed. Over that same time, the Jets have ranked 15th or worse in all 4 categories. Now here's Adam Schefter on what Saleh's hiring means on the offensive side of the ball.
I would think that Sam Darnold is going to return as the Jets quarterback, and the Jets will entertain offers at the number 2 pick. I think that they could sit there and take an offensive tackle. They could sit there and take a wide receiver. They could do whatever they want with that pick. But right now, I think the plan would be to proceed with Sam Darnold as the quarterback of the New York Jets in 2021. I think that Joe Douglas and this staff believe in him. Robert Saleh believes in him. And I think that they'd like to give Sam Darnold an opportunity for a full season when he's healthy with a new staff to see what he could do. I would be surprised if Sam Darnold were not the starting quarterback on opening day.
All right, back with Marcus Spears. So when it comes to Sam Darnold, there are varying opinions, and that's putting it lightly. What is your take on him being the starter next year in New York?
I like it, Nabil. I think he needs that opportunity. Look, we saw Kevin Stefanski turn Baker Mayfield around this year. Cleveland Browns are getting ready to play the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round in the playoffs. Things can happen that fast. Right opportunities, right situations present themselves. We all knew that Adam Gase was a lame duck and was not doing a good job coaching. Obviously, they had some attrition. Joe Douglas, the general manager for the New York Jets, actually has done a good job drafting. Took Mekhi Becton, has a chance to get Penei Sewell out of Oregon if they don't trade away that pick. And Sam Darnold with a full, healthy cast. People don't remember this either. They lost this wide receiver group between Mims and Perriman, and all of those guys were not available for a long part of the season. So give him a redo. I love the Salah hire. I like Mike LaFleur coming in as an offensive coordinator. Obviously, you would expect him to have some of the same approach that his brother has had, Matt, in Green Bay that gives Sam Darnold a chance. He has some of that strong arm ability, move around in the pocket options, and we've seen him be an athlete on the edge of defenses as well. So this is a great hire. The last time, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, last time we saw the New York Jets have a lot of success, it was with a defensive-minded head coach.